Shannon, should they have been ejected?
Yes, and LeBron touched on it at the end, Skip. It was escalating. She wasn't going to calm down, and that happens sometimes. I do believe alcohol might have played a factor in this. And as LeBron said, she was going to keep it going, and it was no longer going to be about the basketball game. And just about every time LeBron come back down the court, the referees were going to have to stop the game and ask her, ma'am, can you sit down? Ma'am, can you stand? And so it was just best because it had started to escalate. Now, Skip, she mentioned she doesn't have a problem with LeBron. Her husband has the problem with LeBron. An issue with LeBron. Mm-hmm. So he started it. LeBron didn't even know. LeBron has no idea who this guy is. He just knew somebody started talking, and, you know, obviously with only 1,800 people in the building, Skip, you could hear everything. It's not like it's 20,000. And even when it's 20,000, Skip, people on the front row, you can hear them talking. So I believe the officials handled it correctly because she was highly agitated. She wasn't going to de-escalate the situation. She was only going to heighten the situation. So the referees because Skip, they gave her every opportunity to, ma'am, sit down. They gave her opportunity after opportunity where she just kept going, kept pointing, and you can see by her comments on IG after the game.
No, she kept videotaping.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
You're right. Okay, yes. She got to get it in 15 minutes.
Yes,
she probably got a couple extra 1,000 IG followers. But she wasn't going to let it go. Mm-hmm. And so in that situation, I think the officials handled it correctly by just saying, look, ma'am, just go ahead and leave. I don't know if they had the mask on the entire time, but she was pulling her mask down.
She definitely did. She pulled hers down around her neck.
Yes. So,
so that was a big problem. Maybe the biggest problem.
And because what she did, Skip, is that she tried to upend what GOAT James, the closer, did. Mm. Because you remember yesterday, who's going to close? Yeah. Well, you got your answer yesterday.
Oh, did I?
The final 9, 12 points in the quarter. Mm. We closed it. Hit a 3, hit a layup, and here, folks, Skip, you talking about he worried about going to the free throw line. If you don't mind me asking, can you answer this one question for me before I turn it over to you? How was he in the fourth quarter with them free throws?
Mm. Well, with the game really not on the line, when it's completely out of reach, he can make those free throws when they're not pressure free throws.
It's like a kid it's like a parent with a child. If I put it way up on the counter, I know you can't reach it. So who put it way up there so Trae Young them couldn't do it? GOAT did that.
Okay, I'll get to all that, the irrelevant part of the night in a moment. But first, to the issue at hand. Okay, for those who don't understand right now or keep up with these tallies, only 9 out of 30 teams are allowing fans in now in the NBA.
Right.
9 out of 30. The Hawks' capacity, pandemic capacity, is the 5th highest because they say that they allow in 1,200. Last night, the announced crowd was 1,341.
Correct.
Okay, so whatever.
8% of capacity.
Okay. Houston is now allowing 25% capacity, just for the record, which is it's a lot. It tells you about the sort of attitudes per city, state, right? And then you got Orlando has a 4,000 capacity. Florida. Miami is third most with 2,000 capacity. And Cleveland is fourth most with 1,944. I don't know where they got that number, but that's their capacity. So number 5 on that list is Atlanta, allowing some fans in last night, 1,341.
Cleveland don't get that when they allow all the fans in there, 1,900.
That is possible. Okay, so 1,300 odd fans.
Yeah.
It's more than a sprinkling.
Yeah.
You know, it's more than I got through television. I didn't know there were quite that many people in the building.
I didn't either.
Okay, so the fans in question were 2 by 2 because the 2 women were sitting together, and then across the aisle, the 2 men were sitting together. Right. And I have yet to see a picture of her husband because he's completely out of the frame, right?
Yeah.
Because have you seen the husband?
On IG, they got a picture of them together on IG.
Okay, I have not seen him, but he's not in the middle of the action because it picks up when she has decided to join the fray. Okay,
to take over the fray.
Yes, take over the fray. Okay, here's the flashpoint moment that I don't know. I don't know what he said that initially provoked LeBron.
Right.
Because LeBron and everybody involved with the Lakers said that this Chris Carlos, her husband, went out of bounds, was the quote from LeBron. Out of bounds, okay? I don't know what out of bounds is in LeBron's view.
Right.
I didn't want to speculate on what it was, but whatever it was, LeBron said, that's over the line.
Right.
And he fired back at Chris Carlos. And then she got angry. And again, to your point, was there alcohol fueling all this?
Yes.
Possibly, very possibly. And then her description after the game was crazy, because she's saying that when LeBron says something to my husband, I see this and I stand up and I go, "Don't effing talk to my husband." And he looks at me and he goes, this is according to her, "Sit the F down, B." Whew. Okay. Did he really go there? I don't know. I don't know, because to me, that's out of bounds on his part.
Skip, what is the likelihood of these NBA players that don't know? Now, I've been courtside and had interaction with guys, but they recognize me. They'll acknowledge me. What's the likelihood of LeBron James acknowledging that guy who he doesn't even know? So that guy had to have said something to LeBron to prompt a response from LeBron.
Okay. Then would he really respond to her that way? Because I doubt it. I'd be shocked that he would go that far with that kind of language, unless he was really angered by what the husband had provoked him to.
Skip, I'm not going to say when someone is angry, and I'm in a disagreement and I'm arguing back and forth with somebody else chime in. Then,
like, what are you doing sticking your nose in this?
What you got to do with it?
Okay, then obviously she escalates from that point on, and she said, "Don't effing call me a B. You set the F down." Okay, now we've gone completely over the edge. And to your point, now we got all kinds of security trying to referee it,
right,
and try to handle it the correct way. And at that point, they say, this is not going to work.
Right.
And they try to just politely escort them out of the arena.
Right.
And it looks like she's still like out in the concourse, so she's already going selfie, right?
When it first started, Skip, you can see she grabbing her phone because she about to document this here. Hold on. This is LeBron James. I'm arguing back and forth. This is not somebody in the stands and a regular fan. I'm arguing with LeBron. So she going to record this whole thing, this whole interaction. And as you said, she's walking back through the concourse. She's outside and she still got it going.
Okay. And then LeBron would not let it lay after the game, because then he tweeted back at her. Maybe he saw her post. I don't know.
Right.
Or his social media people are obviously on high alert. And so he called her courtside Karen, which is sort of a cliche for women at courtside. Mostly it's white women, right?
Well, Karen is the...
Yes.
So but since she was courtside, she got to be courtside
Courtside Karen, okay. And he says that courtside Karen was, all caps, mad, with 2 exclamation points, and then 7 crying, laughing emojis. Okay, I got it. But that will continue to escalate. And they did get, to your point, she got her 15 minutes of fame. I don't know, maybe she's going to become out front courtside Karen from this point on, the number one heckler, Hawks heckler, right?
Maybe she'll get a reality show out of this. I don't know.
She might. Is there an Atlanta housewife?
Oh, yeah, Atlanta, we famous for the housewives.
I know. Is there an open spot there?
No.
Probably not. I don't know. And then I think at some point LeBron took another shot at her and said, I thought it was his daughter, because she apparently is much younger than he looks. You've seen him. I don't know.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, she was saying, LeBron, I can't believe you're talking to a 25-year-old, which that sent the internet into a red 25, maybe 25 years ago, but not current, not February 1st. So that's the thing, is that people think, okay, and you pay a lot of money. I've sat in those seats on the resale market. But even if you're a season ticket holder, Skip, those seats cost a lot of money. Not like the Lakers game, obviously, but that's a lot of money that you're paying because you got to buy all, 41 games. So it's a lot of money. But it doesn't give you the right to be able to, you think you can say whatever, call people out of the name, call you a B or a mofo. Come on, bruh. Sit down. You cheer, boo, all you like. But you ain't got to call me out my name.
Yet, LeBron has played so long into year 18, and he's been called so many things by so many hecklers in so many cities.
Yes.
I can't imagine what this one statement prompted him to do, because he got completely involved in this in ways that usually he would stay above the fray. He would just
probably was the word what Draymond said. You
Maybe.
see, Russ don't take nothing.
No, he doesn't.
Russ had Rondo people kicked out of the bubble.
He did.
because they were clapping because he missed a shot.
Yeah.
So
we've seen Russ, remember, at Utah.
Yes, he got to fade it out. He got to go. So like I said, I believe it was something that, there are certain words, Skip, that can get uttered by a fan that you'll cause an athlete to do a double take. And like, excuse me, what'd you say?
What? Okay, I got it. Now, back to the basketball game.
Oh, back to the game?
Yeah. the more irrelevant part of what happened last night. Okay, so what do I always say about LeBron James? Well, the one thing you don't want to do in any road situation is you don't want to provoke him basketball-wise the way the Cleveland executive provoked him by overclapping as he missed the last shot at the end of the third quarter. And he turned around and did a double take because he knew the guy, and he knew the guy was Cleveland's legal counsel, now the capologist, the right-hand man of one, Dan Gilbert, with whom LeBron has had many battles, and that bridge is at least on fire, if not burned. So LeBron took that so personally, he just went crazy on that guy and scored 21 in the fourth quarter. I thought maybe this would provoke LeBron to go off and score, 15 or 20 in the fourth, because after three quarters, he had a grand total of 9 points. And he did make 1 3, which was his first 3 early in the quarter. And then from the incident on, 8:09 left is when the incident transpired. And LeBron didn't make a shot all the way down to 1:12 left in the game, which shocked me. I really thought this would set him off. And the game was right there for him to grab hold of because he had been quiet. He'd been passive. He had not been engaged in the game.
You see, the objective was to get AD going. Everything was funneling through AD.
All right. So he kept trying to get AD going. And finally, Trae Young hit a 3, and it cut it to 1. And to LeBron's credit, he came back down. And Cam Reddish was doing an excellent job on LeBron James. In fact, in all my years of watching LeBron, I'm not sure anybody has defended him much better than Cam Reddish was defending him last night, because Cam Reddish is big enough and quick enough and strong enough to kind of hang with him and mirror him. And yet, if we could see what happened with 1:12 left, Cam Reddish had been going over every screen, and that's the first time all night long. You see what he did? He went under, and it gives LeBron a break where it's like, oh, I finally got one. I got a clean look. And he shot it clean, and he followed through, and he didn't have anybody in his face. And I was shocked that Cam didn't just fight right over the top. It's my pet peeve about the NBA. I tell you this all the time. It's so easy to fight over screens, and they just give up and switch.
They either come up under it or they switch it.
And if you come up under it, you give a shooter a whole big, long second to just say, okay, I'm going to set and I'm going to make this.
It's basically a free throw. Because his vision is unguarded. He just got a clean look at the basket.
Okay. So then LeBron does go crazy from the 1:12 mark to the end of the game because he scores 9 points just in the last 1:12. So he had 9 through three quarters and 9 in the last 1:12. But I must say there was one breakaway layup that he got. And I got to ask Shannon Sharpe about this one because it looked like he ran about 5 steps with this. I don't know. What do I know? But is it possible LeBron walked with this? How many steps do you get?
1, 2.
You get 1, 2, 3? 1, 2, 3? Can you run 3 steps without
Skip, you know they ain't calling that.
They ain't calling this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. I think he ran 4 steps.
2.
He ran with the ball 4 steps, and you're not going to call that?
2.
I guess they decided he needed a break because that guy had been all over him. So
1, 2. Yeah, that's good right there.
Oh.
Skip, you get a good opportunity to catch the ball, don't you?
Huh? That's not even a Euro step. That's just a flat out, I ran with the ball and got away with it. I'm going to run with it. That's 3 good steps of running with the basketball. I thought per step you needed to dribble.
No, we're good.
You're good?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you that one. And then he makes 4 free throws down the stretch.
How would the free throw had to look good, too? They're pure, too.
Were they? Yeah, because they haven't been looking that pure. Because he's at 71% and Kawhi is at 90%.
Man, this ain't got nothing to do with Kawhi.
Well, you kept bringing it up about what a great free throw shooter he is, and I'm not so sure about that. So, again, when the incident happened, the incident in question, they were up 8 points, 86-78. And yet the incident seemed to fuel the home team as much as it fueled the visiting team because they kept scratching and clawing back into the game.
Skip, the Hawks are a good team. They got guys.
They got firepower.
Yeah, John Collins can play.
He can play.
Clint Capella just gets all the rebounds. Trae Young. Skip, I told you about Trae. I said, Skip, he's going to be able to get that shot. He got tremendous handle. He get in the lane, and he got two guys that can finish above the rim, Capella and John Collins. You see what he had last? He had 16 assists last night.
If only he could guard anybody at 5'11" or whatever he is. If only.
And hey, look, Skip, you're going to have to concede something. Now, he's going to score a bunch of points. He's going to have a bunch of assists, but he's going to have a bunch of turnovers, too. So you just already know.
He had 7 last night. Okay.
You got to live with 2-1. He's not going to be a Magic Johnson or, 3-1, John Stockton, a 3-1 assist to turnover. That's not, he's probably going to be half.
I give you this. He is a blast to watch. He's always going to be great box office. He's going to be a great sideshow. But as improved as they are, they've improved only to 500. They're 10-10, and they look like a 500 team to me.
Right.
Because there are limitations to how far you can go with him shooting that many shots and turning the ball over that many times and getting beat on defense that many times. That's what it is.
I mean, he wasn't that bad. I mean, he's 7 of 15, 1 of 4 from 3, but he gets to the free throw line a bunch. And he's an 80+% free throw shooter.
He is crafty.
Yeah, so he finds a way, and he can get that shot off. I mean, the walk-up three that you talked about, he hit in KCP.
Well, that was the only one he hit all night.
Yeah.
Okay? And yet, I will give you this. He's a miniature James Harden. That's what he's got going. He's miniature, but he is small.
Right.
James is a full 6'5".
Yeah.
He doesn't look it, but he's 6'5".
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, is Trae 6 foot tall? 5'10"?
I don't think so. I think he's 5'11". I'll give him 5'11".
But you see why, Skip, and people like, well, why didn't Atlanta take Luka? But in Atlanta market, you can understand.
I agree.
You see.
Maybe they both made the right move.
The perfect situation, because you're going to see all the rappers, all the entertainers, and that gravitates them to him. Luka is perfect in Dallas. Now, Luka is going to be I believe Luka is going to be the better player. But for Atlanta, Trae Young is perfect. But Skip, look, like you said, we got to the afterthought, which was the game, because there was an incident that superseded the game. But I thought the Lakers is what they were able to do, Skip. This team can score points. And the Lakers held them to under 100.
They did. The Lakers are playing the best defense in the NBA.
Yes.
The Nets are playing, in your view, the worst defense.
Yeah.
Yet the Nets can score like crazy.
But here's the thing, Skip. What happens when your shots don't start falling, when your shots stop falling, and you can't stop anybody else? So now what was probably a 5-10 point lead, somebody goes on a hot streak when your shots are not falling, and now you find yourself down 10, 15 points. The Lakers, if the ball's not going in, they can prevent you from putting the ball in the basket also.
Okay. So last night, the Lakers were the warm-up act for tonight's NBA Finals preview at Brooklyn. Clippers versus Nets.
My grass
Clippers, Nets.
I ain't watching that game.
You should watch, and you'll get a preview. You'll see what it's going to feel like when you see Clippers, Nets in the finals.
Yeah, I watch two teams neither play defense. See, the Clippers...
Neither play defense?
Hold on.
Did you just say neither?
Okay, you do realize the Clippers are 12th in defensive rating. Hold on. With all these defensive stoppers, you got Kawhi Leonard, two-time defensive player of the year.
Pat Bev's been out for like 5 games.
Skip,
he changes everything.
You know what I noticed, Skip? Is that when great teams, you don't never like when James Harden, it was all about Danielle House. Ooh, House. If they'd have had House, they'd have beat the Lakers. Now you go Pat Bev. You got two dogs, two number ones, all NBA players, guys that have been in the MVP discussion.
Yep.
And you're talking about an auxiliary player. Pat Bev is what they call the NBA is another. That's what he is.
I call him a starter, the starting point guard of the best team in basketball that has the best record right now in basketball.
He is what he can Skip. All starters are not stars. They are considered others or role players.
Yep.
He's an other. The two guys that the thing focuses around is PG and Kawhi.
Well, the other blocked LeBron's shot on a fateful Christmas day as he was trying to shoot the tying three.
Y'all hung
knocked it right out of his hands, off the top of his head, and OB.
You know what y'all did? See, y'all hung a banner for that.
Yep.
We hung a banner as the 2020 champs.
Oh, okay.
You want to see it? You come upstairs and you see it.
You were the bubble champs, the pandemic champs.
Hey.
Give you that.
We 17-17. I got a strong suspicion we're going to get to 18 before you know who does. What you want to bet on that? You want to put some on that?
Who's you know who? I don't even know.
Celtics.
Oh, the Celtics.
Yep.
No, I don't want to put anything on that.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.